Jesus. I think I need more speed.
A lone astronaut, Captain William Buck Rogers, was to experience cosmic forces beyond all comprehension. Ranger 3 was blown out of its planned trajectory into an orbit 1,000 times more vast.
Yeah, for some reason the transition is super steep. It kind of just does this weird little, slows you down a lot. It almost pushes you backwards. And then once you get over the hump, like right about here, it releases you. The rear wheel catches on and does the same thing. So you're basically just getting bucked. I realized that I'm really terrible at building jumps out of wood. I got this thing. This is a perfect example of a water bar, like a shitty jump. Ideal practice territory, because there's no way you're gonna walk off from this, because you're gonna go over hard. You're gonna face plant, most likely break a collarbone or something. So when I look at something like this, there's 3 ways to get across this. So how you're gonna get across this depends a lot on how fast you're gonna go. If you're going slow, there's one way of doing it to keep it safe. It's just shifting the weight forth and back, making sure you're always over the center of the bike. Depending on the speed, your technique has to change, because this obstacle is gonna come quickly at you and you have to react differently. If you're just doing the same thing at different speeds, it's probably not gonna work out. All right, let's do the slowest version first. The same amount of weight throughout the whole process on the front and the rear wheel. So when the front wheel gets pushy, like it pushes against you, you kind of take the weight off of it a little bit. You're gonna unweigh the front, let it come up and be neutral. Let the bike float in between your legs. Be soft in the knees, soft in the arms. You're the suspension. I know you have a suspension bike most likely, but you have a lot more travel in your arms and your legs. So let the bike come up. In the same way on the downslope, let the bike get away from you. And if you're not going too fast, that should be no problem. Yeah, that's technique number 1. If you're a beginner, mediocre rider, this is probably where it ends for you, because you would have to learn how to manual pretty comfortably or jump pretty good to hit this at higher speeds. Because if you were to do this at higher speed, it gets so fast, it gets so jarring, you're most likely not gonna be able to do it. Actually, it's just not gonna work out. So let me see how fast I can do this before it goes bad. Yeah, starting to kick me a bit. Losing contact with the back of the ramp. So I would basically, at the speed that I just did, transition to number 2, possibly already number 3, which is manual into it or jump out of it.
All right, let's have a little quick refresher on how to manual. You want to have your hand on the rear brake, and to find your tipping point, you just want to pull up a little harder than you have to. So you're almost going to flip over, and then you bring the front wheel back down using your brake. This is mainly just for you to practice how to pull up again and where that tipping point is where you fall over backwards. So just practice a bunch of those and you'll get the hang of it. So the goal here is not to manual for distance, but more for accuracy. You want to have the right height of the front wheel so that you can clear the water bar with the front wheel and focus only on the rear wheel being absorbed by your legs. So basically taking one of the forces out by manualing your front wheel on top of the water bar.
If you're getting the manualing wrong, okay, let's just say you're going to be like, oh, I know how to manual, and you're coming in like Evel Knievel manualing, and you're like, oh shit, I miscalculated, and your wheel drops down right here. Well, now you just made it a lot worse, because not only did you not manual to the top, you just slammed your front wheel right into the lip or the uphill slope of whatever this is. So if you don't know how to manual accurately and predictable and reliably, I would stay away from manualing into bumps or speed bumps or water bars like this, because this right here is probably the worst case scenario. Let me see what that feels like. Yeah, I hate even the thought of this. Oh, that felt awful. So I'm not doing that anymore.
All right, the whole secret behind this technique is to get rid of that seesaw bucking effect. So if you manual your front wheel on top of the bump, you can focus on the rear wheel and absorbing the bump with your legs.
Last version would be full speed ahead. Take it as a jump, but take it as a shitty jump, where you know at a certain speed you're just gonna get bucked. Meaning the front wheel's gonna take off, and the rear wheel's just gonna most likely get bumped into the lip, and just it's this weird unweighing into the lip that kicks you. It's a teeter-totter of hell. So you got to be ready for that and absorb the impact of the rear wheel on a jump like this.
So what makes this a really truly shitty jump is it's just too short. You never get to put pressure on both wheels before the takeoff. That's a shitty jump. So now a good jump is long enough that lets you put pressure on both wheels into the lip at the same time. And yeah, that's a good jump.
All right, now you know how to deal with this, whatever this is. Thanks for watching, guys. Maybe a like, subscribe, that'd be great. Comment, let me know what you want me to do. I have this dream of breaking a world record in skidding my bicycle the furthest. How much is it to get into the Guinness Book of World Records? How much is that? Like 50 bucks, $100? I don't know. If anybody knows anything about that, put it in the comments. I want to break a record. 53 years old, I'm running out of time here. I'll get some world records under my belt.